Hi, today I'm going to offer you one of my favorite books that's been written for children on anxiety. And it's a really good way for you to be able to talk with your kids about anxiety. I'm going to read the story along and you can show them this video. And then you can have some discussions and questions with them afterwards. This book is called Worry, Worry, Go Away. And it is written from a faith-based perspective. So I think that that's really important for families who want to reinforce their Christian faith to support why it's important to let anxiety go. And it's written by Christine Adams. What is a worry? A worry is an idea that pops into your mind when you're scared. It may be real or make-believe. You have a wonderful mind. It talks to you about real things and make-believe things. It might say you are in real danger, or that someone won't like you or will make fun of you. That's your worry voice saying, what if something bad happens? Your smart voice tells you that these worries might not be true. Your smart voice says, what else could happen? Maybe it won't be so bad. Remember, God gave you your wonderful mind. God helps you to use your smart voice to figure out what's real and what's make-believe. Grown-ups tell us to look both ways before we cross the street and not to talk to strangers and not to play with matches. We need to listen to our worry voice that tells us to stay safe. When we worry about getting a bad grade, we do our homework and study our spelling words. It's good when we listen to our worry voice telling us to do our best. Sometimes, though, the worry voice gets turned on and there's nothing to be afraid of, like with bugs or monsters or thunderstorms. Or it says we can't do something when we can. That's not so good. Your job is to turn on your smart voice. It will tell you to stop and think twice, to breathe in and relax, and figure out if you should listen or not. So what do you think that she looks very worried right there, but he's having a nice cup of cocoa looking outside at the storm. So this is a good example of she shouldn't listen to her worry voice because her dad right there is keeping her safe. And if he's not worried, then she doesn't need to be worried. Where do worries come from? Some movies, TV shows, and books can make us worry. It's easy to get mixed up about what's real and what's make-believe. Everybody feels afraid sometimes, but when you're a kid, lots of things seem scary. You may hear and see things you don't understand. When you're afraid, talk to your parents or a helpful grown-up. Talking about your worries makes you feel safer. It helps your fear fade away and stop your worries from growing. See here, she's watching a TV show and there's someone really sick in the hospital bed. So she seems really worried. So she's asking her helpful grown-up right here, should she be worried or should she not be worried? And to talk to her about what she's feeling. When worries grow into anxiety. When you listen to the worry voice too much, your worries get bigger. They get louder in your mind and they seem true even when they're not. Somehow worries get stuck and play over and over and over again, and then a new one pops up, and that's called anxiety. Worry is like rain. A little bit is good. It makes plants grow and gives us food. But a lot of rain is bad. It covers the ground so nothing can grow. When you worry a little about a spelling test, you study and get a good grade. When you worry too much, then you get anxious and you forget all the words. Don't let anxiety take over and keep you from doing your best. Let God help you. Be a worry-wise kid. See, he has a test today. When you feel fear, whether it's real or make-believe, you might begin sweating and have butterflies in your stomach and get a headache and feel like you can't think straight. When you feel nervous and jittery, turn on your smart voice and remind yourself to slow down. Take a deep breath all the way into your belly. And then you hold that breath while you count slowly from 1 to 5. Let's practice. If you do this 10 times, you'll be calm. No kidding. Sometimes your head starts to feel a little light, and that's how you know that it's working. It's turning off your worry voice. Exercise is also very good for you. Your body calms down and worries slip away. Eat healthy foods like plenty of fruits and vegetables and keep moving. See, helpful grown-ups tell you to eat your fruits and vegetables. It does help your worry voice to not turn on so quick. They're doing PE at school. Talking back to your worry voice. Your smart voice helps you to talk back to your worry voice. Say stop. Push the stop button in your mind and ask questions. What's really true? What might be true? Could I be worrying for nothing? Felipe was playing baseball and he was up to bat. His worry voice said, what if I strike out? His smart voice said, stop. And Felipe said to himself, I can see myself hitting a single right down the middle. In his mind, he pictured it. Guess what happened? He hit the first pitch right down the middle. Listen to your smart voice. It's God helping you to be a worry-wise kid. See how excited he is? Turned off his worry voice and listened to his smart voice. And then he was having a whole lot more fun. When your worry voice keeps bugging you, when your worry voice doesn't listen to you, hit the stop button again and say, worry, worry, go away. Don't come back today. Get lost, worry voice. Get busy playing a game, listening to music, watching TV, or reading a book. If the worry voice follows you around while you're playing, whispering worries in your ear, get tough and say, get lost, worry voice. If it comes back, try this. In your mind, make a small black box called a worry box. Think of yourself talking your worries and talking back to them and taking all of your worries and stuffing them into the box. Then picture yourself giving the worry box to God. Another trick is to close your eyes, take deep breaths, and think of a happy, safe place. It will take your mind off all your worries. See, she's thinking in her mind of a big black box, and she's taking all her worries and she's putting them in there, and then she's going to give them to God. Some other things you could try would be writing down your worries or drawing pictures of them and putting them in letters. And then you could take them to church with you and give them to your children's minister so that you can practice letting them go to God. You're the boss of your thinking. You can flip the switch in your mind anytime you want to. Sean wanted to do well in school. In 3rd grade, he said, I should get all A's in school. If I get a B, I'm a failure. Telling himself he was a failure was not a good way to talk to himself. Sean flipped the switch and turned into his smart voice. He said to himself, I should try to get all A's, but if I get a B, I know I will try my best. When you're your own best friend, you don't listen to the idea that says, I can't do this because I'm not good enough. You flip the switch and you tell yourself, I can do this. I'm smart enough to try by myself, and I'm smart enough to ask for help. When you always try to do your best, you're not a failure. Remember that. When you always try to do your best, you're never a failure. Face the fear step by step. Letitia was afraid to ride her bike, but she didn't listen to the worry voice. She got on again and tried. She almost slipped off, but she put her foot down and balanced her bike. She kept trying and soon was riding with the wind in her face. If you're shy, making friends can be hard. Start by making one friend at a time. Make one friend at school, then one at church, and then one in your neighborhood. Pretty soon, you'll be too busy to think about being shy. When things change or we start something new, we worry about what is next. Like when we change from 1st to 2nd grade or move to a new town. Remember, everything happens one step at a time. Use your smart voice to take you through each step. You can't run away from fear. When you don't run but turn around and face your fear, it backs off. When you're ready, practice facing your fear one step at a time. So just think about each step that's coming, the first step towards facing each fear. Don't worry about the next steps until you do the first one. Worries about tomorrow or yesterday. Sometimes your worry voice talks about what might happen in the future, like, what will my teacher say if I forgot my homework? Or what if my dad loses his job? Your worry voice is fooling you. It's giving you anxiety over something that's not true. Sometimes your worry voice might go backwards in the past, saying, I'm worried about Jake being mad at me because I didn't sit with him on the bus. Your worry voice is fooling you again. Yesterday's already happened. Today, all you can do is ask Jake if he's upset and then go sit with him. Nobody knows exactly what will happen tomorrow, and yesterday's already gone. Just remember, God always watches over you. So remember, just stay in today. Don't worry about tomorrow, and yesterday already happened. Find a helpful grown-up. Talk about your worries to a grown-up. As soon as you tell someone, you feel calmer. Your stomachache may disappear, your heart will stop racing, and your headache will go away. Sometimes when worries seem really big, your mom might suggest you talk to someone special like a counselor, and that's a good thing. Ask your parents or helpful adult to make alone time with you. This is when you can take all of your worries out of your worry box and share them. Ben was nervous right before he had to play the piano. His mom knew he needed some alone time, so she took him aside. He told her he was nervous about making a mistake. She reassured him by saying, as long as you try, it's okay. Ben walked on the stage and said to himself, it's not the end of the world. I'll do my best. And he did. You've come a long way. When you were 2, you worried when your mom left the room. Sometimes you cried and wouldn't let go of her. When you were 4, you didn't even notice when she left. When you were 5, you were a little nervous about kindergarten, so your mom took you. Now you can't wait for her to leave so you can see Katie and Ryan. You don't face your fears all at once. You do it a little bit at a time. If something in school makes you anxious, don't avoid it and stay home. You're growing and changing all the time. What bothers you today will be gone tomorrow. Remember what you learned in this book. You are stronger than your worries, and you don't have to listen to the worry voice. Know that God gives you great strength. They're going back to school. You are special just the way you are. You don't have to be the fastest, smartest, or best-looking kid to feel good about yourself. Guess what? Don't listen to the worry voice that says you always have to be the best at everything. No one is the best at everything. Some kids do math but can't play baseball. Some kids play baseball but can't play the violin. Some kids play the violin but can't do math. You have your own special gift. You don't need to do anything special to be special because you already are. You were already made special. She's looking in the mirror, telling herself how special she is. God is always with you. If you have to be away from your mom and dad for a while, God is there beside you. When you sing a solo with the chorus, God stands out on stage beside you. When you answer in class, God is there. God always has time to listen to you. You can tell God if you're upset, worried, or scared. Praying and talking to God are the same thing. God will understand. He will help you with your smart voice. Right beside you, deep inside you, God surrounds you with his love. You can do many wonderful, brave new things with God's help. When you are scared or worried, tell yourself, I am a child of God. God is with me right now. That's the end of the book. I hope you enjoyed the book, and I hope that you have some helpful grown-ups that you can talk to about this and what you've learned. So always remember to not listen to your worry voice and to tune into your smart voice. Flip that switch. Take some deep breaths. Remember, you're in here today. Yesterday's already happened. And who knows what will happen tomorrow. But you can face your fears one step at a time because you always have God right beside you.